Hi guys, for this week's Maymay Made It Design Team project, I'm going to be making a spring folio. The products that I'm going to use will be listed below, so that check it out. That's where you can find those at. This would be a great gift idea for that special gardener in your life or for a garden swap. It's absolutely perfect. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to be using the 6x6 Echo Park Spring Fling paper pack. And I picked mine up from the Maymay shop, but I did notice that it's out of stock, so I will list it someplace else below. I'm going to use some regular old A2 size envelopes, 3 of them. I got my mini scoreboard here. I'm also using, I just picked this up and it was so fun to work with. You can see all of them up there on the top, and that's the Funky Florals 1. I've also got some ephemera, and these, that's just, I think, an older Echo Park Spring collection, and also Celebrate Spring collection, also by Echo Park. And they're all three are different, but they all three coordinate perfectly. So they just happen to be things that I picked up as I found them. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our first envelope and we're going to put it on the scoreboard. And just like I've done in the other folios, we're going to score it. So right where it folds, you're going to score a quarter of an inch off of that for 2 of the papers, and then a half an inch off of that fold line for the last one. So 2 envelopes will be a quarter of an inch wide, and one of them will be a half an inch wide. And the reason for that is because we're going to stuff these envelopes with some gardening stuff that's going to make it a little bit thick. So you're going to want to have at least one of those edges, gussets I guess you would call it, to be wider than the other 2. So that way you can close it. So now we're just going to tape right along that score line that we just made, and we're going to line up our envelopes, and just same as all the other folios that I've done. We're just going to line them up and tape them together, and this is what it's going to look like. Super simple. This is one of the fastest, easiest gifts to give, and it gives like the biggest statement. So everybody that I give these to is just absolutely floored at how adorable they are. And then when I teach people how to make them, they just can't believe how easy it is. So each one of my panels that I've cut out is 4¼ by 5½, and I'm using the Spring Fling paper. And I'm going to start with this. These are real busy papers, so to unbusy them a little bit, what we're going to do is back. We're going to back a lot of this stuff. So I took one of the ephemera pieces, and this is a whole ephemera piece, and what I did is I cut a little slit in the top of that watering can, and I stuffed some of my flowers that I made into the watering can. Then I cut a little heart and I popped that up on the front of the watering can. I used just a piece of black paper, black cardstock, that I cut to fit around the outside, and that's to help differentiate it from how busy the background is. And I've popped it up on some fun foam. I also used some glossy accents in a couple of areas on that to kind of make it pop, and that will complete the cover. So that's the cover of our book, and I think it's a good statement as to what kind of a book this is going to be. So our next panel, I made that's supposed to be a cloud edge die, and it's an Elizabeth Craft adventure edges, I think it's called. And instead of clouds, I made green bushy grass stuff because I thought it was real cute. And since we're going for a real whimsical look here, I thought this would make a real whimsical grass look. So I'm going to attach my panel, again, 4¼ by 5½. I just took a piece of white cardstock, backed it with some fun foam. I cut it out with just I think that's just a stitch square. And basically it was just so that I could pop up this little spring sign. Again, busy background, so you want to kind of pull your focal point away from the busy background by popping it up on something plain. And now we're just going to build our little garden scene. So I'm also popping up my little grass bushes. I don't know what to call them, so I'm going to call them bushes. And then this is an old Sizzix die that I found, and I thought it would be super cute with this spring. So I cut it out and I colored it with my Zig clean color markers. So I'm going to pop him up later, but for now I'm going to build the garden. So I'm going to speed this way up so that you don't have to sit here and watch me painfully build my garden here. But all of these flowers, you can make them either distress them to go with that distress look. You can use them in your art journals. You could do all kinds of stuff with it, but because I wanted something whimsical and cute, each one of these I cut out with bright papers that matched my at the Echo Park Spring Fling paper pack. And these are all just scraps from my scrap pile of different colored papers, cardstock that I had. And then I took a white gel pen and I just made them more whimsical by adding little white gel pen highlights in certain places just to kind of, make it look more like it's, you know, not a real garden. I wanted it to look kind of cartoony. So now I'm just kind of putting my flowers in, popping some of them up. Some of them are flat to the back, and we're going to pop up our bee, and they're going to attach him right to the top. And if you get the paper pack, the 12 by 12 sheet that comes with the stickers, there's some really cute stickers in there that you can use instead of the bee. So if you don't have any dies where you want to make a bee or anything like that, the stickers. Oh, look, his little leg. I didn't notice that until now. His little foot's popped up. I gotta fix that. Anyway, so for this panel, what I did is this is a Pink and Main stamp set that I had that had these little garden boots in it. And one of the themes in this paper pack is little garden boots. So I thought this would be really cute to use to, I used them a couple of times on different panels with our book, and I just filled them full of flowers, and we're just going to pop it up. It's just super simple, easy. I used, before I forget, only attach this on 3 sides because you want to be able to use your pocket. So don't put your tape across the pocket side, just on 3 sides. There you go. And I backed my piece of ephemera on some brown cardstock. And that was basically just to bring some of the brown in from my little flower pack right there. And I'm just going to pop this up in the corner, and that is going to do it for that panel. Super simple, but really cute statement. And all I did was glue my flowers to the back and pop the whole thing up, and it was super simple. Again, we're going to attach this panel with on 3 sides. Another one of the cartoony bushes, I'm going to attach it to the bottom. And we're going to build another garden scene. And we're also, I got to trim that down a little bit. We're also going to use some of the stickers from that sticker sheet that's in the big spring paper pack. And that spring paper pack is also still available. You can get it on Amazon or on, I believe Simon Says still has this pack, but I will double check and link it below. I fussy cut out Sunshine from one of the ephemera pieces because I didn't want the whole piece to be on the top. I just wanted Sunshine. And the 2 yellow parts on the other side of the hello that came from the Maymay's Big Time Sayings stamp set is the 2 yellow pieces that went on either side of that Sunshine. So I cut it off and then I mounted it behind the hello so that there's that pretty yellow up above and then Sunshine up below, and then we're going to build our garden again. And I want to take some more pieces from the sticker pack, so I took out the little wheelbarrow. And I'm going to pop that up back there. And then I'm just going to kind of speed this up and quickly go through building the garden again. Doing the same thing, popping some of them up. Some of them are flat to the back just to give it some dimension. And yeah, I love these flowers. I had such a good time cutting them out. As you can tell, there's tons of them on my workspace here. I just kind of went to town and just kept cutting and cutting and cutting and then building flowers like a crazy person. But on the plus side, I have tons of this stuff left over because I actually have like 3 or 4 more of these that I need to make for people. So that will complete this panel. There's a nice close-up of it. Super cute. For this panel, again, we're going to attach only on 3 sides, and I made myself a wreath. So how I did this was I took some of the leftover brown that I used under the April Showers Bring May Flowers sentiment, and I cut out a circle. And then I just cut out a bunch of the greenery, surrounded the entire thing with the greenery, popped up all my little flowers around it and a pair of those boots, put the beautiful spring sentiment in the middle, which I popped up, and that will do it. Oh, and one of the little bumblebees from the sticker sheet. Now I wanted to make something for the flap. So I didn't want just the plain flap. That's why I cut it down, but you don't have to do this. You can leave it any way you want. So that was just showing you that I'd cut it down and attached. I used a yellow and then the floral pattern. I also used, I'm trying to think of what it was, but it's one of the punches, an edge punch. For the very back panel, I have another one of those Sizzix dies, and I cut out the little frog. I colored it with the zig markers and um, just flat attached it because that is the back of the book. I didn't pop anything up on the back. So here I'm just going to run through it real quick, and I'm going to show you what we're going to stuff inside. So I had picked up a bunch of different seeds, and I'm just going to stuff them into the pockets. And I also picked up some all-purpose flower food or plant food and shove that in one of the pockets and close it up. And then to keep it closed, I don't show you here in the video because there wasn't any reason to, but I just used some natural twine and I tied a bow around the front. So here it is. There's each one of the pages. I'm just going to run through it real quick and show you all of them. And then when you close it up, there's the back. That will complete our spring folio. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I hope this gives you some ideas with what to do for some nice spring gifts that you can give. It's coming. Spring is definitely coming, I hope, soon. Anyway, I'll see you again real soon, and thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.